Greetings. This week I'd like to go back and talk about the theme of forgiveness. The image comes from my wonderful client Storm, who experienced more than 30 years of domestic violence before having the courage to leave and leaving with nothing. It's one of her own slides from a presentation titled Emerging from the Inner Storm. It can still be found on YouTube. It has both my voice presenting and also Storm talking through her own journey. Emerging from the inner storm, from the self. That's what forgiveness was. So what did she forgive? Not the violence and the control itself. Certainly not. But the need to forgive the flawed personality and whatever personal struggles cause the violence to be seen as a need or solution for life's problems. I suspect any domestic violence perpetrator lives in what Frankl terms the existential vacuum. It's not a malady, it's not a mental illness, but a spiritual illness in which existence seems to be devoid of meaning. Please don't interpret me as defending the domestic violence perpetrator. What is done in this area is not forgiven as such. It may not even be forgivable. But the person, the essential human being, can be. Storm needed to forgive because unless she was able to forgive and do that deeply, that struggling and flawed personality, she was unable to move on. And to forgive means to come from a situation of feeling deeply uncomfortable with something in life and moving at least to a situation of acceptance. It means taking responsibility for my life, recognizing that perhaps I may not have been fully responsible in the past, and then forgiving others who may not have taken responsibility for theirs. So forgiveness is not forgiving the act itself, but forgiving the person. It's a much deeper response, but a very healthy one. Dorothy Day, who founded the House of Hospitality for the Homeless and Destitute in New York, suggests that we all struggle against both freedom and responsibility, and we always will. So there's no point in telling Storm, actually telling her, that she needs to forgive. No. Forgiveness is a revolution from within, the revolution of the heart that will provide an alternative to anger, despair, helplessness, because to forgive is to release the self from prison. Anthony de Mello tells the story of the former concentration camp inmate from the Nazi era who comes to visit his friend because they shared the ordeal together. "Have you forgiven the Nazis?" he asked his friend. And his friend answered, "Yes." The visitor then replied, "Well, I haven't. I'm so consumed with hatred for them still." "In that case," said his friend gently, "they still have you in prison." Forgiveness is the release from our own prison. Thank you for listening.